Hi, this is episode 4 of Clobbering Time with Craig, and first today I'm going to talk about the unveiling of the new WWE game, WWE 14, the new cover. As you all have seen on Raw, it's basically The Rock's on the cover, and Chris Fink briefly spoke about this the other day on his YouTube video, and yeah, I don't know if many people are actually happy about the cover, and I was hugely disappointed by it. I was expecting someone who's actually on the roster at the moment, you know, someone like Dolph Ziggler or something would have made a lot more sense than The Rock, who's only there for 5 minutes to make his money and then disappear for his big films again. Yeah, I know a lot of people on my Facebook group were saying that it should have been either Dolph Ziggler or The Shield, or, you know, even someone like Sheamus or Randy Orton would have made more sense, or an alternative covers, you know, 3 or 4 different covers to choose from would have made a lot more sense, been a lot more to choose from, as I'm sure a lot of people would rather have chose one of the other covers instead of The Rock. And I know The Rock's been on the cover of one of the previous games when it was on PlayStation 2, I think. I can't remember what it was called, Know Your Role or something like that. But yeah, I really don't see why they've put him on the cover. There's so many others that could have been on it and would have been much better. So yeah, it was a huge letdown. Yeah, next I'm going to talk briefly about Raw. There was Sheamus and Christian beat Road Scholars, which was nothing really much to it, and yeah, Sheamus and Christian won the match. It was Caitlyn beat Oksana in a brief match where AJ came out dressed up as Caitlyn, which looked quite funny. And yeah, that was a brief match. It was Jericho beat Del Rio via DQ. And then we had the revealing of the WWE 14 cover. Then we had Ryback against the Great Khali, which Ryback won, thank God. So I don't know why Great Khali's there. Then we had the talk between Heyman and Punk in the ring, when Heyman trying to convince Punk that he was on his side and knew nothing about what Brock Lesnar did. And when they hugged at the end, Punk didn't look too convinced. He said he believed him, but I don't think he does believe him at all. We had a very good main event in Daniel Bryan against Randy Orton, which Daniel Bryan won via submission. And also there was, they named the Money in the Bank Raw members, which will be the Raw side of the show, I should say, which is Punk, Randy Orton, Kane, Daniel Bryan, Christian, Sheamus and Rob Van Dam, which looks like a good card there for that side. The only one I see likely to win that is Daniel Bryan or even possibly Randy Orton, but most likely I see Daniel Bryan winning that and possibly even cashing in at SummerSlam. He's the only one that makes sense to win that. In other news, we had during the week the other day that Doink the Clown sadly passed away. There's also Main Event Mafia on TNA. As you've seen, they're starting up the new Main Event Mafia, which at the moment is Kurt Angle, Sting and Samoa Joe. And I would imagine they're going to add like some Magnus and possibly even James Storm. But I'm not so sure about bringing back the Main Event Mafia and the new kind. They've already done it, I just don't see the point of it. Maybe it'll be good, I don't know. Also on this week's Impact we actually had something interesting to do with suicide for once. It was the whole mystery of who was in the mask, because the real suicide had been attacked backstage, and basically the person under mask won the X Division title, and then it was revealed it was Austin Aries. So it looks like Austin Aries is going to challenge Bully Ray just like he did when he last won the world title from Robert Roode, which was quite interesting. They actually made something interesting for suicide for one show probably. The other thing is, a friend of mine runs a company called RetroWrestling.com, and some of you know them, and they're doing with Trish Stratus, they're doing that's their next big signing. So if you're interested in getting personalised pictures of Trish Stratus, go to RetroWrestling.com and you'll be able to see all the stuff that's not sold out yet. But yeah, there's a lot of very good photos there, and I've already ordered one of mine. They're very good company. Next, me, my sister, Chris, Maxine and Samantha are going to be climbing the up at the O2 to raise money for the Curve Fund, which we'll be doing on the 10th of August. I'll put the link to my fundraising page on once I upload this. I'll put it on the comments bit, so if you want to donate, you're more than welcome to. Bound for Glory standings. At the moment, we've got Magnus top with 10 points. This is before yesterday's Impact. Second's Jeff Hardy with 7, and Daniels, Anderson and Aries have all got 7. And you've got Joe and AJ with 2, and the rest on 0. I can't see Magnus staying top of this. I'm not really sure who's going to win it. There's, I guess, possibly Anderson, or even, I guess, they'll probably go with the predictable side of Jeff Hardy. Yeah, what else we got? Money in the Bank, the SmackDown side, which I think is actually better than the Raw, which we've got Dean Ambrose, Damien Sandow, Cody Rhodes, Wade Barrett, Swagger, Antonio and Fandango returning. To me, there's only 2 possibilities of who will, I think 2 or 3 possibly. Ambrose, Wade Barrett and a small chance of Fandango. But I have a feeling Wade Barrett might even win it. But if he don't, then I'd imagine Dean Ambrose will be the one to win it. What happened on SmackDown? We had Sheamus beat Sandow in a street fight at the beginning of the show, which wasn't nothing spectacular. It was an okay match, but very predictable. I think everyone really knew who was going to win the match. We had Ryback against Justin Gabriel, which Ryback won, which was pretty obvious that was going to happen. Miz TV with Curtis and Paul Heyman, which ended with Miz getting beat up by Curtis. And also we're going to have on tonight's Raw, main event is Primetime Players against Curtis and CM Punk, which actually should be a good match. It's nice to see Primetime Players getting some sort of push, even if it's only for a short period. It's nice to see them actually getting involved. You had Natalya beat AJ, where basically Caitlyn dressed up like AJ in return for what happened on Raw, and Caitlyn surprisingly looked quite good. That was quite funny to see. The show ended with Ziggler attacking Del Rio after his little party. But before that we had Christian and Usos beating the Shield, which I was surprised at. So I can't understand why they would do that to the Shield. As it just, realistically, they shouldn't. The Shield should win that. It doesn't make Shield look too good in the process. Apparently there's going to be a Money in the Bank DVD anthology coming out in October, which will be quite interesting to see. I presume that obviously it'll come out in America first, and then we'll probably get it in November time, I'd imagine. Also going to be a Goldberg DVD, which should be decent. Even though he wasn't the best of wrestlers, some of his matches are still good. Rampage Jackson in TNA. I'm not sure what any of you think about it, but I'm not sure what the point is of it. He's not a wrestler, he's a cage fighter. I just don't see it working well. I would imagine they're going to end up having him fight Kurt Angle, but I just don't see it working. It seems all short term and just a bit of a publicity stunt, which I'm not sure is really going to pull in any more ratings than what they've already got. And SummerSlam, I was going to talk about possible SummerSlam matches now. I have a feeling we might see John Cena against Daniel Bryan for the world title, which I'm hoping Daniel Bryan will win. Other matches, I'd imagine we're going to see Brock Lesnar against CM Punk. I'd like to see CM Punk win, but I'm not so sure he will win the first one. I think there might be a series of 2 or 3 matches for them. But yeah, that should be a good match as well. Regarding the Divas, I'm not really sure. It looks like they're still going to continue the feud with AJ and Caitlyn. Whether that will drag into SummerSlam or not, I'm not sure. I'd like to see them get others involved instead of just them 2, people like Layla and Natalia. Bring up Paige as well to the main roster. Make something different. Be good to see her in the main roster. They could easily fit her straight into the main event against AJ. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and something I noticed on Superstars the other day was Alex Riley's now doing commentating. I'm not sure if that's a long-term thing or if there's something they're trying out. I get the feeling they've given up on him with his wrestling career. They don't seem that interested in pushing him anymore. And he did a decent job. Maybe that's where his future will lie, in commentary instead of in the ring. Now, there's a few things on my Facebook group we was talking about during the week where Jess Elbury spoke about, I don't know if I said the second name right, hopefully I did, was about possibility of, there's a rumour, possibility of Wade Barrett winning Money in Bank and Regal becoming the manager, which I quite like the idea of because of the connection, and Regal's really good on the mic, and I think it would do a lot of good for Wade Barrett. It could have some very good potential there. Another one was possibility of Heyman's replacement for CM Punk. There was a few that someone spoke about. I come up with the idea of Tyson Kidd, because I think, alright, he's going to be out for quite a while, so probably you'd have to wait till then, but he could do his career a world of good once he comes back. Also, a couple like Helen Moore and my mate Chris said Drew McIntyre. Jess also said Drew McIntyre, which for this current moment I think would be perfect for Drew, because he could go back to his character of the Chosen One, and Heyman would be a huge difference maker to his career, because at the moment with 3MB it's gone stale and it's going nowhere fast. So really he needs to go back to singles, otherwise he's in danger of being released at some point. Another article, by the way, you can see these articles at rantsport.com. They're all done by Jess Elbury. Another one was potential feud for the Big Show when he returns. Not really sure what they can do with Big Show at the moment. They've pretty much done everything for it with him. The only thing I can think of is when they do bring Bray Wyatt in, is for Big Show to put him over. But other than that, I don't know. I mean, Jess said about the possibility of him fighting Dolph Ziggler if Dolph Ziggler wins the title from Del Rio, and him back in the world title shot, but I don't really want to see him back in the heavyweight championship picture anytime soon, to be honest. So, to be honest, I think the best thing for him is to be putting people over, a bit like what Jericho's doing at the moment. And I think it would be good if he put the likes of Bray Wyatt over when he finally debuts. I've spoke about the WE cover, won't go into that too much. The possible standout star of the Shield, who people think will be the first one to win the world title, basically, or stand out the most. I would imagine it would be Dean Ambrose. Seems like the most likely, because he's got everything. He's got the mic skills, he's great in the ring. He just seems destined to be that first one. I'd say either him or Dean Ambrose. Him or, I don't know, even Reigns is a possibility, but I'd say it would be Ambrose. Sorry if my video keeps pausing. I notice it keeps pausing on me there. Yeah, Dean Ambrose seems like the most likely one first, because I wouldn't be surprised if he wins Money in the Bank and then by WrestleMania time is world champion. But yeah, I would imagine him definitely. Some might think Reigns, but because of being the big guy. But I'd imagine it's most likely be Dean Ambrose. Basically that's it for this week's show. Can't really think of anything else to talk about at the moment. Obviously we've got Raw tonight, which should be good, with Punk and Axel team up. Be interesting to see how they coexist. I doubt they'll coexist very well, to be honest. But it could be a potential of a match between them two sometime soon. So yeah, basically next main event, next pay-per-view is Money in the Bank before be off to SummerSlam, which I'll be doing my video at SummerSlam time. I'll be doing probably from my hotel room in Los Angeles with my friend Chris. So yeah, I'll probably be my first guest on there, and I'll do some little video recordings while I'm at SummerSlam to post on my YouTube show to show you all. Anyway, that's it for this week's Clobbering Time with Craig. It's been the 4th episode already, since I only started yesterday. Anyway, I hope you like my show, and I'll speak to you next week. Bye.